Ace money the shit. Working that brick. Ballin' like Swish. Diamonds wet like a fish. Pull up with them sticks. Come fuck with the clique. We fucked on your bitch. She sucking the dick.
Who do you think would be a great or a good opponent for Wilder to fight next, right? Or Wilder to fight next and then fight the winner of Anthony Joshua and
you could go with, well, you're gonna have to go with someone that's like, it's gonna have to be like a tune-up, isn't it? So it's gonna have to be like, it's gonna be low risk, low reward, I guess.
Yeah, but see, that's why. But Queen, that's why I say that when you talk about those three guys, it's only those three guys in the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. They're gonna have to rotate each other, right? If it's not his turn now, then you know they should still be respectful, even though that the excuses come, or you know, whatever that comes, that you know, as the baddest man on the planet, he's still going to need them to make those big mega fights.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So whatever excuses that they make, you know, we take that with a smile and say, okay, come on, because like Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, he's making all the excuses in the world, right, to not fight Dev, but we don't say, okay, no, we're not gonna fight him. We say, okay, well, what other excuse you got? You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, all right, well, that's cool. So you want to fight Kambosos next? Okay, then what excuse you gonna have? You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia, you don't want to fight now? Okay, well, when you get through with that, we're gonna see what excuse you got after that. That's to me just part of boxing. Maybe I could be wrong, but I just was sharing with you guys how I kind of feel.
Yeah, from your angle, which is
from my angle. You know
which is appreciative, because we're not in your position, so you actually get to see a lot of the things that we're not privy to. So like, I respect everything that you're saying, by the way, but all I'm saying is, okay, all right, Wilder, there's lots of good fights for him in the meantime. There's so many, just because it's not, you know, the two elites, like there's still like a top 10 of boxers that could actually go and fight in the meantime. But what I'm trying to say, like, right, we've seen Wilder fight too many tuna cans, and it's been exposed now. So really, he can't drop down below the top 10 to keep avoiding the top 10 fighters, because Wilder's resume, and alongside Andy Ruiz's resume, is very pitiful. So right now, they're on the redemption list. So we're going to have to see you in some high risk and still low reward fights, because if you're going to fight Andy Ruiz, that Andy Ruiz has no belt, but he's the former heavyweight champion. But so it's going to be a high risk fight, low reward, but it's going to be a great fight. You can fight Dillian White, but you ducked Dillian White. That's a high risk, low reward fight. There's many a fight that Wilder can take in the top 10, but he's never taken them in the top 10 before, bar Tyson Fury. I don't know where Luis Ortiz, where he was at the time when they fought. I just remember Wilder didn't want to fight him because he was too old, and then fought him when he was 36, and then fought him when he's 40. So yeah, again, another contradiction. So what I'm saying is, there's lots of fights. Wilder didn't take those fights before. Why does everybody think he's going to take top 10 contenders now?
Hey, I would say this though, Wilder, he has a credible resume.
No, he doesn't.
Well, I would say this. He has a credible resume.
No, he doesn't.
Like I said, hold on, don't cut me off. If we're gonna talk about resumes, only one you're gonna mention on Fury resume is Klitschko, and that's controversy. And
Fury's resume is
controversy. Hold on, don't cut me off, sis. Don't cut me off. I've been talking.
Sorry.
Fury resume, we already went through that. And the only thing here is Klitschko, controversy.
Yeah,
and Wilder, controversy. But when it comes to AJ,
there's no controversy, bro.
Well, I'm saying, listen, to y'all, it's not. But to me, and what I see with my own eyes, that's what it is.
So I'm
saying, hold on. Y'all keep cutting me off, right?
No, I'm just asking.
I'm saying is this. Hold on. What I'm saying is this. Hey, I ain't cut you off, Lady Chan.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
All right, it's okay. It's okay. Let him finish. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't be bashing a resume when Wilder had fought top guys. Also, he fought guys that was also ranked. If you want to mention the AJ resume, you do not want to bring up an AJ resume.
We do.
Hold on 1 second. Stop cutting me off.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Cut me off.
Go ahead, JFL. Go ahead.
AJ, bottom 10. You really don't want to bring that up. If you want to bring up his top 10, hold on 1 second. If you want to bring up his top 10, you're only going to mention about 2 names on AJ resume.
Wrong. But anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Not wrong. That's not wrong.
That's wrong, bro.
That's wrong.
No, it's not wrong.
Wait.
Let me break it down to you. I'll break it down to you.
That's wrong, bro.
Okay, hold on. Here you go. Only person on AJ resume, you only had what? Klitschko,
Dylan White,
right?
Dylan
White, top
Alexander Povetkin.
Joseph
hold on.
Charles Martin.
About his top 10, we're only going to mention 5.
Let us say the resume.
Let me say the resume, JFL, you bring up the resume.
Cut me off.
JFL, let us speak real quick.
You bring up the resume.
We got Bill Haney on the panel, bro.
Yeah, you bring up the resume. You bring up the resume, and I'm just going to correct you about the resume. About the resume.
You're not going to correct me.
Yeah, I am going to correct you. I am going to correct you.
Go ahead, Lady Chan. JFL, chill, bro.
So now watch me correct you. So we've got Povetkin, we've got Pulev, we've got Dillian White, we've got Charles Martin, we've got Tony Parker, we have Andy Ruiz, we have.
You can't count.
Okay,
You can't count Ruiz now.
Let her finish.
At the time, all of these guys were ranked top 10 heavyweights at the time. Every single one of them, and he managed to knock them all out from 2015 to 2020. AJ, we've already did a show about everybody's in the top 5 resume. Whether you like it or not, my brother, AJ actually has. Oh yeah, and Klitschko. AJ has the best heavyweight resume out of all the top heavyweights today.
I'll say this.
I would say Tyson Fury. I would say
he has a credible. AJ, hold on.
Wait, hold up, JFL. I would say Tyson Fury got the best resume.
No, he hasn't though. Hey,
will he be Wilder? I mean, what about his win against Wilder? Wilder, the most dangerous man.
Yeah, okay, but how many names can you put? Like, I've just named you 7. I've just named you 7.
The majority of AJ opponents already.
Let me talk real quick.
I've just named
majority of AJ opponents already dealt Wilder. So what are you saying?
I just named 7 at the time.
Okay.
Top 10. So Tyson Fury, who in his top, who was in his top 10. Otto Violin wasn't even in the top 10. He was in the top 15 at the time when at the time when Fury fought him. So that's 1. Klitschko, Vasily Klitschko, all day long. That's a great one on his resume. Deontay Wilder.
But I wasn't even done though.
Hold up.
Third person on his top resume. Steve Cunningham. Who else was the other guy that we were just speaking about? He's so irrelevant that we can't even remember his name.
Derek Chisora.
Derek Chisora, isn't even in the top 10. He wasn't in the top 10 at the time. So he was in the top 15. So all I'm saying is that I've just named seven fighters.
Okay. Wants to say
and some of them are still in the top 10.
What I'm saying is,
let Bill go. Let Bill go, Jake, and then you go.
But what's the unfair thing, and that's why I say this though, we should not kill the fight, is that I was at that fight with Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua, and I was sitting with Joseph Parker. And Joseph Parker, we were sitting right by each other. We just sitting next to arm with each other. And then he told me, and then I was like, oh, this shit ain't nothing, man. Ain't gonna be nothing. He says, no, brother. He says, that Andy Ruiz can fight. He said he can fight. He said he can box, right? And the way that I saw him tear Anthony Joshua up, right? And it was Anthony Joshua's debut in America, where he came in, he was going to be the king of America and all the stuff. And the way that he spoiled it, right, for the queen. When you say that fight would not be a good fight for Wilder, and
it would be. I said it would be.
That's a dangerous fight. That's a dangerous fight.
I said
right?
that.
Yeah. That's a dangerous fight, and you pick the one person that I feel that is like, okay, you got the three kings and Wilder, Joshua, and what's the name, and then you got this other guy. You got this other guy that you gotta you beat him. You beat him, and you beat him decisively. You beat him the way you're supposed to, especially with the way that he's training with Eddie Reynoso now, right? And the shape that he's looking in. You beat him, then you're right back in it.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
So that's just how I look at it. I think that guy is a good opponent.
Right. Andy Ruiz is a great boxer. Don't ever get it twisted. I've not said his resume's trash, but he is a great boxer. Obviously, you saw him demolish AJ back in 2019. That would be a great fight for Wilder. But what I'm not really going to sit here and have someone say unfactual stuff about AJ's resume, Tyson Fury's resume, or things. Yeah, but you haven't said any facts. So I still you brought it up.
You want to have a serious resume debate? Likewise.
Okay, well, I'm still waiting, Mikey, because I said 7 people off the rip. Go ahead. Go use your Google.
Okay, so she wants you to break down the resume then. She said she gave you 7 names. She wants you to say some names.
I'm saying this AJ resume. Based off of top 10, you're going to just try to discredit Wilder's resume, which can never do.
Relay AJ's resume.
And also, what we're saying is AJ top 5 names.
Let's not go around the mulberry bush. I'm not
3 names.
I'll just jump off the panel because it's 20-5 in the UK.
Out of 22 fights of AJ,
yeah, go on. Go ahead.
How many factual names you actually going to mention?
Go ahead.
7 names.
Go ahead.
It's cool. Hey, it's cool, man. We gonna break that up right there.
Yeah, go ahead. Break it down. Hey. AJ.
So what I'm saying is, Povetkin is still on the table for Wilder. And the rest of the duckers who duck Wilder can get that smoke.
You can't break it down. Yeah, see, you couldn't break it down. You just mentioned
like I said,
brought up that AJ's resume is trash. So I just asked you to tell me.
I'm saying don't overhype his resume either.
You can't do it.
He beat a lot of champions though, JFL. That's all she's saying, bro. He got a proven resume.
So many fucking arguments on this motherfucker shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because the Wilder.
I'll give you a breakdown on the resume on my channel.
Because once Wilder name is mentioned, then it gets crazy, bro. You know what I mean? That's what happens.
But if it's only bro.
My question was, Wilder never accepted a step aside.
They come back on their other fake pages and troll, do goofy shit, come back and get on the video chat and show their ass and dick and
if it's only
one
guy,
well, hold up, bro.
Camera and shit.
Hold up, bro.
Then you gotta delete the whole stream after that.
Well, hold up, IB. Let Bill talk real quick.
Hey, listen. If it's only one guy that we say that, you know what I mean, is and Andy Ruiz that Wilder can fight, right? It's not a bunch. See, we looking for the resume, right? But when we looking at the 3 kings, so resume don't mean nothing if we feel that all 3 of these guys is the guys, and we feel like, okay, well, if Wilder fight anybody other than say Ruiz, it don't mean nothing. So
no, it's not.
So if it don't, so resume, we don't even need to talk about the resume. We need to talk about the position that them 3 guys is in. Them 3 guys is in a position that one need to be fighting the other, or the other need to be fighting the other. That's just the
people that negate people's fighters' resumes. It's only because it doesn't fit their narrative. Like facts is facts. Like I don't rock with Tyson Fury, but he has slightly a better resume than Deontay Wilder. The thing that I give credit for Deontay Wilder, even though he's fought bums, which I give him kudos, which I've said on my show many a time, way over Tyson Fury. At least Deontay Wilder has made title defenses. Tyson Fury, he got the belts and vacated them, and he's never made a title defense. This is going to be his first title defense, and I don't respect the fight.
You know what Roy Jones infamously said is they wasn't bums. He just made them look like that. You see what I mean? So
okay, but they were bums. They were after them had day jobs elsewhere. They were bums.
No, I understand that, but then when you talk about the style and you talk about the fighter, if they were bums, then no one should have let Wilder get in the position that he was in as being one of the best in the division. If we say he's a bum, okay, if we said his resume is full of bums, right? Then it's kind of going against, it's kind of talking about him as the fighter that he is. It's kind of like you're kind of still talking about him, right? But then when I say to you, I said, okay, if all his resume is bums, who should he fight to qualify him as having a good resume? And the only fighters to fight, we agree, is maybe Andy Ruiz or maybe what's his name? So
no. But he had more than he was pro before AJ. So was Tyson Fury pro before AJ. How comes within 5 years AJ fought 7 top 10 and cleared all the belts bar the WBC belt? How did he do that? Because he fought champions. He fought current active champions. Okay. That's why Tyson Fury's had more than enough time to fight proper people. What I'm gonna say is that props to Wilder for being a one-trick pony, being able to. I respect it. You got your bronze in the Olympics, and you've had a team that's padded your career because your team knew from jump that you were a one-trick pony, and that they had to protect that at all costs because that was where their mortgage money was coming from. So between Shelley Finkel and his team, they made sure that they filled his resume with bums and to make it look all padded. He had more than enough times to fight in his what? How many times has he fought? What's his record? 40 and 1, whatever. He's had more than, you've only had 2 top 10 people in that 40 fight resume. That is appalling. That is trash.
But
AJ
he can't
did it in
recover.
5 years.
Listen,
so we can't say
Queen, but you just said though there's nobody else that, even if he's a one-trick pony, there's no line around the corner of a bunch of guys that
there is. I already said that, sir.
Okay.
I already said that. So I already said that. But what I am saying is now the line is the world line, because there's world elite, which is Wilder, Joshua, and Fury. They're in world elite. Then there's world, which goes to Povetkin, Dillian White, Andy Ruiz. We need to see you fight some world fighters. Not saying because you can't fight the elites. There's no fights for you. We need to see you fight someone that is credible now.
Okay, give me 3 of them. Give me three.
Andy Ruiz, Dillian White. He already outpriced himself with Charles Martin. That would have been a good one. That would have been a good gauging factor to gauge if you want me to.
So would he have a good?
Go ahead.
Would he have man if he had those 3 names on there?
Sorry,
if
I can't
he puts
hear
those 3 names on there, if he fights those, if he fights those 3 names, will he have a good resume?
Any of the resume would be better than Fury's. It would be better than Fury's. Any world level heavyweight to add to your resume is adding of quality to your resume. If I go around if I go on the street and pick up 10 rocks, but then I walk around the corner and then I dig through some mud and I find 1 diamond, those 10 rocks look great in a quantity level, but guess what? The 1 diamond outdoes everything. So we need him to be collecting more diamonds now. That's what will equate his value and his leverage power. We don't care about the bums. We wasn't watching that much. We was all fog smoked with just the right hand, and he was as well. So all the boxing fundamentals went out the window. We need to see him collect some diamonds.